Who's ready to make some money on a Friday? Let's get live trading going. We're going to be talking the top movers, some stocks. We've got some earnings stocks that are moving this morning. Of course, if you're watching pre-market prep, you know we already covered CVS, Netflix, Intuitive Surgical, you name it. We've got a lot of stocks to talk about this morning. If you've got any tickers you're watching, just go ahead and throw them in the chat and we'll get to them. It's going to be me and 13 running the show today. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in so far this morning. Sorry, I'm getting the right. There we go. Live trading. Boom. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and roll that intro and get the show started.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
Wow, I'm glad I'm coming on the show. I didn't even know I was in the intro to this show. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you to everyone who's, again, tuning in so far. Let's go ahead and bring my man 13 on, who's rocking the Packers today.
Yeah, hello.
Who do the Packers play this weekend, 13?
I don't care. Oh, they play the Cardinals. They're going to beat them. Anyway, yeah, welcome everybody to the show. We have some stuff that we're going to go over here today. I see that already some folks are looking at DRUG. I'll cover that one. I was looking at that as well. Got some movement all the way up to over 40 in the pre-market here. So let's start with the SPY. That up higher in the pre-market compared to the close yesterday. Looks like we're going to start inside this candle from yesterday. So I don't know what we're going to end up getting. It's just kind of been a big question mark for me ever since we kind of got up here. But I don't think that's really important. We could, test the all-time highs again. We could come back and test the previous all-time highs at 580.33. I think we're going to probably bounce around for a little bit, but that's not important. Let's get to some of these bigger names here. Or not bigger names, but some of these bigger movers, starting with VTAK, Vtac, Catheter Precision. This is moving on no news, though I believe this is going off of maybe some relative volume, but also because we had Intuitive Surgical reporting yesterday, and we are seeing some medical device companies move in relation with that. So that is what I think we're seeing there. Don't have any news, as you can see. This company has 2.7 million shares in the float, and it did a 1-for-10 reverse split on July 15th, so not too long ago. This company also does need cash, as we can see from the cash position here. Not much there, and their income statement doesn't have a whole lot of revenue. They're losing about $4 million a quarter, so they need to raise cash at some point. Be careful with this one. Moving on to the next one, which I also saw was getting some attention. Sobr. This is Sobr Safe. What's happening here is that the company this actually happened yesterday on Thursday after hours. The company is trading higher after it filed a Form RW and will not pursue a public offering at this time. So as you may remember with public offerings, that's going to dilute the float. It'll increase the size, make the shares less valuable, and it usually causes the stock price to go down. The float that we have here is 306,000 shares. It's probably one of the smallest micro floats that we've seen. Pay no attention to this short interest. That's just a result of the reverse split. We haven't had updated information yet. The reverse split that they did was a 1-for-110 on October 2nd. And they have about 1/4 of cash left in the balance sheet here. So there's a 2.16 million there, and that is about how much they are burning, just a little bit more than that. So they have a little less than 1/4's worth of cash, and then they are going to have to raise it somehow through public offering or some private funding. Next, we have a GPS. And what's going on with this one is that this is I believe this is a Turkish company, a Turkish e-commerce company. It says that KSPI, another company that trades on the NASDAQ, is going to acquire 65.41% of all outstanding Class A and B shares. So not completely a takeover, but somebody absolutely gobbling up this company is what they're doing. Now, the thing is that they do have 200 million shares in the float, so that does make this a little bit heavier. And we do have a nice setup today. But because of the size of the float, I'm a little bit cautious on how much we're going to get out of this one. Could see some pops, could see some good movement in the morning. But once that volume starts to go away, I think this is just going to leak and leak and leak, as we've seen these large float companies do once they get that early momentum out of the way. So that's HEPS. Be careful with that one. This one does have a very large float. And then finally, we have PEGY. Peggy. This may look familiar because we have traded this one before. This is Pineapple Energy. Yeah, you may be wondering the same thing as I am. Do they get their energy from pineapples? Well, no, they don't. But they are a solar energy company, backup power, and security control and predictability with cost savings company. So basically, they're into the batteries and the solars and kind of the new age energy that we've been seeing pop up a lot more. What it's moving on today is relative volume, and they also terminated a lease. You can see that here. They hold a strategic and financial restructuring and lease termination. The termination of the lease is for a former Minnesota headquarters, and they are expected to move and produce a savings of about $500,000. So that is what this is moving on. They have a 8.65 million shares in the float. They are going to need to save that money because, as you can see here, they burn about 7 million. Well, they are burning 7 million a quarter right now, but they only have about $1 million in the bank. So they are going to have to raise cash at some point. And interestingly, this company just did a 1-for-50 reverse split on October 17th, which was yesterday. That is what I have in terms of the big movers so far today. Now, I did notice that we had DRUG moving as well, but that wasn't on the list at the time that I was preparing this. This actually got the movement shortly after we got going here. Let me switch to a 5-minute chart, and we can see that movement, this doesn't look like, no, this is still the other one. Let's try it one more time. There we go. All right, so this is the movement in DRUG that we were getting. And you were in happy hour chat where I usually hang out. Right about here, I was saying this looks like this is about to break out, trying to put it on everybody's radar. Sure enough, we got that break over 35 there, and now we are holding above it. I realize I don't have the correct EMAs on here, so let's turn those on, and VWAP. For me, with this one, if we're going to start trading this one out of the this morning, I think we would want to maybe see this back test 35, or at least find some support there. If not there, then maybe VWAP. But this has had a nice morning pump. It's coming back in, and now we just need to see what it's going to do next. Looks like it may actually try to get going here just before we open, but not 100% sure if that's what we're going to get here. If you're trading in the pre-market, very good, best of luck to you. This would be something I'd be more interested in once we see that that bell ring. Folks, what have you got for me? And Aaron, did you? I think you're still busy. Folks, do you have anything that you wanted to have me take a look at? Looking like Sydney is asking about NKGN. Take a look at that here.
I'm here, but I was looking at some of the bigger movers this morning. So some of the earnings companies, Netflix making a nice move, yep. I think right around all-time highs. So it'll be interesting to see if Netflix is able to keep a move going past that all-time high, because it could be interesting for a breakout there. We know Netflix can be a crazy mover, especially post-earnings.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about there. We are just on the doorstep of moving into all-time highs there. So what are you thinking? Like 740s on the table if we push out of the gate and upwards?
What's that? Sorry.
You think we get to 740? Is that what the thought is here on those earnings?
If we make new highs, then I think it could be an interesting play. Okay.
You'll notice here, folks, that I've got some of these trend lines here, just kind of seeing where we could end up finding resistance in the future. Seeing as this is a bit of a broadening wedge, I'd anticipate that we maybe even do go beyond 740, try to get it to this point, this trend line at some point in the future. Not going to happen today. I wouldn't expect it to, but this is something to watch for. We could end up getting here in the coming weeks before we come back around and start testing this area, which I think is coming. What else did we want to? Oh yes, Bobby G, HTCR. I mentioned this one a couple days ago. This one was a swing. Oops, kind of butchered that. That's not it either. HTRC. Nope. CR. There we go. I'll get it, folks. Don't worry. All right, so in the pre-market, we are now up to 112. I mentioned this one because they had some future revenue coming up, and that's appears what they have mentioned. Okay, so this is interesting. This is preliminary revenue results, and they don't report until next month, is my understanding. Let's take a look, double check that with the calendar and earnings. And unconfirmed for November 11th. So they are giving you preliminary news here, saying that they are looking at 17 to 19 million in revenue. And if you look at their market cap, that's about where they were. They're just above 20 million. So this revenue, that's double their market cap. That could be that could give some really good moves and so forth. That's what we're getting here. We've just bursted over $1, back tested that, and now we're holding it. Let's see how much higher HTCR can get. Yes, the pre-earnings announcements were great. SERV, we'll look at Sobr next. That's the next one I saw on the list there. Sobr Robotics. Don't just really see what's going on here with this one. Let's look at a smaller time frame. I guess it's, trying to get going here, but I don't really see, the volume isn't really, exciting me about this stock. Maybe it gets going later on, but for now, I don't really see much going on with Sobr. I'm not sure what we're looking for here, but if we do get that volume to start expanding, I'd like to see it break the 880. What is this? 884. Let's see it break that area. That would be what I'd be looking for. Covered Netflix, covered HTCR, BOF. What we got with BOF? Branch out food. It kind of looks similar to the last chart. So looks like we're getting a bit of some support down here from the 200 EMA. What we're going to want to see next is it come back to the reverse and continue this reversal and recapture that 65 EMA and come back up to VWAP. I don't know what the catalyst is here with this one on why we're up 10%. Must be okay. So we have an active stake. Seems like somebody decided this is going to go up. They wanted to take an active stake in it. I don't have a whole lot more information than that, but let's just say that if this does move up, it's going to have to take out that VWAP. You can see all morning that's kind of been suppressing the breakout price action. So let's see if we can get above that VWAP and run. If we do, I would expect 220 would be the resistance area to break out of. Is Tuna here today? What's the runner? What's the runner today, sir? We have several. Sobr is a cheap stock. I think it can enter at these low levels for a swing trade. Go for it. Where do you get your info? You reference like float, current cash flow numbers. So Mark, I get a lot of that when I just look over here in key data. Or I can zoom this in a little bit for you. So we get our float, we've got our 52-week range, we've got our short interest, got our session volume, got other metrics here. All this information here is available on Benzinga Pro. Zoom back out, so we're back to a regular size. All right. There's a 13D for view up. Yeah, I think that's what we were looking at. No N. Yes, Tom. No N. Marie today. I think because Ryan's out, we're not going to have the folks we usually have him bring on. So when he returns on Monday, we'll have some all our friends back with us. Melvin. We'll have Anne Marie. One big happy family. We'll be all back together. TENON. Oh yes, that was another one that I saw that was moving this morning. Thank you for bringing that up. The TNON, TENON Medical. What's going on with here? With this one here? Files to sell common stock. I'm not sure that that's really great news unless it's done privately. But I guess this may also be moving up with the with ISurge, ISRG. They just had earnings yesterday, and it's lifting a lot of these medical device companies. Also, it seems like we have a bit of a short interest here. Let's take a closer look at that. 1 days to cover. I think we did have a recent reverse split with this one. Not that, well, last month. It was a 1 for 8. So that's why we have the float down at under 500,000. But that we don't have that short interest reflected in that change yet, it seems. Anyway, do any of you guys use? I use Webble. Yeah. What else do we want to look at here today, folks? You got SOBR. We already did that. HUM. Thank you, Parker. And then John, you also mentioned JDZG. Let's take a look at both of those. What's the first one? HUM. Okay. So Humana, is this one coming back after it? This one was beaten up recently, right? This had it's an insurance company. Yeah. So I guess what we're wondering is this coming back up? Well, for me, I would want to look at this on with the some of these lagging moving averages, not the EMAs that we use. So for me, I'd like to see a recapture of the 20-day SMA. Now we are, we did come off a pretty low RSI following this sell-off here, so we are getting a bit of recovery. It seems to me like the 20-day SMA and this area where we fill the gap, they're right in the same area. So I would expect that we could at least come back up to there, but whether or not we break out and move higher, that's what I'm not sure about. I think we may end up seeing some resistance as we approach there, and we could get some pullback. But following that, we may end up moving through the 20-day SMA. That's just one of the things I want to see. Is I just want to see a recapture of the 20-day SMA and hold above that, and then we can have that conversation about moving higher into this consolidation area. But that's what I need to see first, is recapture the 20. And then JDZG, and then we can go back to what the chat is looking at next. All right, so this one is trading higher after China's September retail sales and industrial production beat data estimates. So we did have a bunch of economic data come out of China overnight, and now we are up. It seems like there was a question about if the China stocks coming back up. It seems on the retail sales data, it looks like that could be the case. Don't know how sustained this is going to be, but let me go to a smaller time frame here and switch back to the EMAs. As far as a trade goes with this one, going to need to see some support from that 65 EMA and a recapture of the VWAP. I don't like where this is at right now. This looks like it may end up going lower. Just need to see this 65 EMA hold up. We've already seen once this morning that it can't really do that, but it is able to be recaptured. I think that this eventually may end up drifting lower down to the 200, but we'll have to wait and see if that's the case. First things first, has to recapture that VWAP. It doesn't do it any good being beneath it. It actually creates a bit more of a bearish sentiment if it's down here. So let's see a recapture that VWAP first. Vtac, I already covered that one, AJ. That was moving on no news, but I believe it was going in relation with ISRG. QCOM, TSM, MSTR, and Apple are all up. Yeah, I think we're getting a bit of Momo because of the TSM earnings. So that's what and now as far as MSTR goes, that's a Bitcoin name. What are we looking at here with Bitcoin? I don't really like this side of there we go. So this is what we got here for Bitcoin on these pro charts. We are trying to push back up into the 68,000 handle, it looks like. Still trying to move up. This is the area where we need to get over. See how we had this consolidation here the past couple of times? We've been rejected from that area once. I'd like to see us chew through it and recapture 70. 70,000 looks like a good spot. But if we that's what we can hope for with Bitcoin. Whatever Bitcoin does, you're going to see those names like MSTR and MARA and CLSK. They're all going to move in relation with the way Bitcoin moves. What do I think of News-E? This one was on deck yesterday, I believe. Yeah, this one we traded yesterday. And what I think about it is that I think that maybe the move could already be in. Sorry about that. I don't know how much more we're going to get out of this today, and we're already down almost 25%. Let's go to a smaller time frame and see if I can give you some better details there. Okay, so when I go to a smaller time frame, it looks like we're actually trying to come back up. Breaking out of here is going to be the first step. This is what we want to see first. First off, is getting back over this. After that, we can look at 190. 190 would be my next spot for a target price to either take some gains off the table or expect resistance. So we can push past this level. I think 190 is next. Ken, did we ever cover it? I don't think we did. We covered a whole bunch this morning, so I'm not sure at this point what I have and what I haven't. I don't think I did. Got an earlier pop this morning, and now we're beneath VWAP, getting some support from the 65 EMA, looking to go back up to VWAP. That's what it looks like at the moment. MACD is looking like it's about to cross, and decent RSI, not not too overbought, not too oversold, right in the middle. If we can continue to get support from the 65 EMA and then push up to VWAP, just like that other one I was mentioning not too long ago, that's what I'd like to see in this one. We recapture VWAP, and we're going to want to see the price push up and take out these highs. So first step, recapture VWAP. Second step, let's see if it can get up to these highs and take those out. But right now, volume needs to be a little bit better. We might get some more action once we open. Let me take a look at the float real quick just to satisfy curiosity. Okay, so 2.8. That's fine. That's easy to move around. We could see some movement like that. So let's just see if we can get back above VWAP first in AKAM. Mentioning PDD as a bull flag. I'll take a look at that. We have 5 minutes left before the open, folks. So get ready to trade what you're looking at. Okay, so bull flag. What time frame are we looking at? A daily for a bull flag? That's nice that we had a huge gap up there. What's the bull flag you're looking at here? Because I guess you might be talking about something like this, although I'm not really sure I would look at that as a bull flag. This one looks like it just is trying to hold above VWAP. That's going to tell you the story of whether or not this is going to be good or not. If we lose VWAP here into the open, that might not be good. We hold it, that could be good, and we may end up pushing up higher into the open. Now I see that this is one of those that has a heavier float, right? Yeah. So I would temper my expectations with this one, because of how heavy the float is. I don't know that we're going to get that wild movement that we would get with some of those other names we just recently covered. I feel like this is going to maybe have a pop at the open at the very least, but this could end up being a slow leaker throughout the day. You know my feelings about those heavy floats, folks. So that's where I'm at with this one. But if we can at least get back above VWAP, then maybe there's some slow moving upside to this. But for now, I'm not sure about PDD. Covered TENON already, Lion Atlas. Market Sniper saying the U.S. opened a federal investigation into whether Tesla's partial automation system is marketed as full self-driving is defective after a series of crashes, one which resulted in a fatality. That's not good news for Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla and see how they are reacting to that news. A few more minutes left, folks. So that news came out around here, then I can understand why we got that drop. But here we are trying to push back up and go right back to start. So it looks like 221 and some change is about where we're looking to head to. We captured VWAP nicely, moved above those EMAs, and here we are. So far it looks like it's not affecting it too badly, although I still believe that the Tesla price is going to end up somewhere down here eventually. I really don't like the way this formation looks. It looks like at some point we're going to end up rolling over and losing this and losing that and falling down around here. That's just my thought. Yeah, government trying to kill the RoboCab. No. We were promised the robotaxis for a very long time, and we haven't got that delivered yet. So I can see why people are getting weary about it. Looking at Vtac, it's currently at a conference in Paris. This is quite an interesting long-term play. It has approved FDA and CE for non-invasive imaging systems. That's interesting. And it's also moving on the iSurge news as well. Line Alice, Ryan is on vacation until Monday. He will be back on Monday, and we can you can call him Ray in then. And Tom Tran saying Nvidia can rally 40%, says B of A. Well, given all the good news that they've been having lately, I can understand why that would be the case. Still trying to work on getting past 140. So if you're saying it could go 40%, what is that going to give us? Take us back to up here. Let's see what else we got here. Musk has filed a whole list of losses pending against him.
190 was the price target on Nvidia from Bank of America.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. I didn't look at the news.
Course.
Oh,
okay.
perfect.
And I'm finishing up the thing I was working on, so I'll be back on the. I'll be more involved here in a couple minutes, folks. Sorry about that.
No worries. I'm trying to hold it down here, and we are about to open, folks. We have about 5 seconds left, so choose your targets. Get ready. We are gonna trade. Let's bring Drug on here. That was the most fun, wasn't it, folks? Let's do that. And we are open. Let's go to a 5-minute chart. Carmen, sounds like a good idea. Adding Vtac to the May lift off list. So Rocket Q, right? Watch ORIS at open says WIS. Take a look at ORIS. All right, so what are we looking at here? We're looking at for movement back to VWAP. Need to see better the volume than this, but I can see how we could touch VWAP here. And there we are. Just pounced up to it. All right, so now that that's out of the way, I guess the next step would be a recapture of VWAP. Great call on ORIS. And let's go back to drug and see what that's doing now. Here we go. Here we go. Looking to take out this 40-50 area. I think that's exactly what we got. This is the high says 40-44, but let's just say 40-50. Why not? 40-50, that's our level we want to see taken out. Nice movement out of the gate with drug, but volume could be better. What else do you have, folks? What are we looking at? Let's take a look here at some of these other ones that we were looking at. ACAN down, Humana down, JDZG down. Did PDD do anything? Nope. So far, it looks like drugs wins. Don't tell Nancy Reagan. Oh, it's halted now. Thank you for that. Yep, you're right. It is halted. And the pre-market high is 40.44. So we are almost there, folks. Looking for just another dollar from here to take us up and over the pre-market high. Sobr moving now. And then I will look at R after that, Shawshank. So SOBR. What do we got here with this one? Okay. Here we are with another attempt at VWAP. Does this one break over it and hold is the question. Looks like we have some pretty decent volume here. So we're going to want to see multiple closes on the 5-minute chart here above this level if we can get above VWAP. Now, if we continue to push over VWAP, the first stop for resistance probably going to be about 1940, about that area, and then this one here, which is 2095. We could even call it 21 if you wanted. Somewhere in that area is going to be the next target after this one. So here we are back above VWAP. Let's see if we can close above this on this candle and hold it, and try to push back up to these previous levels in the pre-market. Now, AURA, and then I will get to some of these other ones that you folks were mentioning. So ARA, this is moving. It's up 13% on HC Wainwright and Company, raising the price target from 21 to 22. So that's almost 2x from here. Looking for another $10. Now, I don't know what is making them think that this is worth twice as much as it is right now. But it seems that we are getting some support from the 65 EMA and trying to move back over VWAP. Volume looks okay for now, but it doesn't look like it's doing as much as it needs to. Let me take a look at the volume here. So 36 million shares, a little bit heavier than what we're wanting to see. Not really trading a whole bunch of volume in this regular session. Need to see expansion of that. We need to see expansion of this volume to push through this area here where there's some clear resistance. And then we might see that volume expand a little bit more. But this is the area where we need to get above this 12. We'll probably call it somewhere between 12 and 1220. We need to get through that. All right, so long ARA, BAER setup, AMD short pressing, Vtac halt. Good morning, Judge. I will have a lot of things to look at. ORIS is halted. Let's look at that halt, see what we got out of there. Halted to the downside. Ooh, not great. So it looks like we had a pop and then drop. Let me just go through some of these folks. Smoke Tuna mentioning BAER. He said there's a setup here. I mean, kind of looks like it may have already gone, unless I missed it. I don't know, man. This we had this good volume here, and now it seems like it's gone. Plus, we're pretty extended. This may come in a little bit. Look for some support. I guess we could say we could start here, even though I don't have really high conviction on that as support. I think maybe closer to here would be where we could see support. Not sure about this. What is the thought here with Bayer Smoke Tuna? Help me out with that one. I also seen Crimp Biscuit mentioning ATNF, and then we have WIS with TVGN. Let's take a look at those. Sorry if I skipped any. I'll try to go back and see if I missed any. Okay, so this one has a little bit more price action going on here. This is great. So we got a push back up through VWAP. Now we're back testing it as support. We hold above VWAP. I'm thinking we're going to want to look for a break over this this wick here, which was a high of 587. And that may end up taking us to 6. Let's look over here and see what kind of price action we've got previously. So this should run back on Wednesday as well. Looks like DRUG is also trying to push over that pre-market high, but getting slapped back down to VWAP. As far as ATNF goes, let me just go back to, let's just try to hold VWAP and take out this level here. That's what I'd be looking for. Is it TGVN or TVGN? Let's take a look at that TVGN. We taken off. Oh, we did break out of this consolidation here and move up past the pre-market highs. Now we're back testing VWAP. If we hold VWAP, we're going to want to come back up, and I think you might run into some issues around 2. This whole area up here makes me think that we might see the price action slow back down if we reverse off VWAP and push back up. Chewing through this may take a little bit of time. We also need a little bit of cooling off on the RSI. This move that we got really pushed us up into overbought territory, but it doesn't seem like we're going to be losing VWAP quite yet. So it looks like we could end up pushing up into that 2 area. That's TVGN.
All right, I'm looking at some of the top movers over the session so far. I'm sure you guys have covered most of them already, 13. But what about OCG? Have we covered this one yet?
OCG, no. And what's happening with this one? Looks like this is another move with the China retail sales figure being pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Oriental Culture Holding. I mean, I assume this is some sort of Chinese stock. Up 10% over the last few minutes here. So it looks like it's popping a little bit. Pretty low float relatively. So could be one to watch. Wow, Oklo moving again, up another 7.5%. You talk about strength. Oklo just has been on a freaking tear from around $7 a week and a half ago to $17 now, up another 7.5% this morning. This, of course, is the Sam Altman-backed previous SPAC that is in the nuclear space.
Nuclear power, baby. So here we are pushing up into these Wednesday and Thursday highs that we are putting in. Looks like if we continue to push up, we may see a little bit of resistance up in this area here around 1750. That's kind of where we're at right now. Look for a bit of pullback here. If we don't get that, then I think we could end up just straight pushing through this. But I think that about 1750, we may get a little bit of pullback. And then we could try to reload and have it go higher. The RSI is very extended right now in the 5 minutes. So little bit of caution, I think, needs to be exercised. SMR, Vtac is back open. HTCR gaining volume. That's great news. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a push through with Oklo. So if we continue pushing up, let's take this out. See if I can draw on one more high. Wow, we're almost at, what is this, all-time highs, I think, with Oklo. Yep, almost there. So that all-time high would be once we break out of 1880.
Speaking of all-time highs, someone wants to talk about the Palantir, which I think was getting close to all-time highs if it did not surpass it recently. I haven't looked in the past couple of days though about where Palantir is at.
Yeah, Palantir just barely got into the all-time highs. The all-time high was back here on in January, I think, of 2021. That was 45 exactly, and I don't believe we hit 45 exactly. We just got really close. So yeah, so the highs. So we basically less than $1 away from hitting all-time highs. Looks like this is coming back in a little bit. Might just end up forming a bit of a cup and handle. So if that's the case, then we may pull back down to the 35 area. Otherwise, if this is going to, briefly cool off and push through that 45 area, that's likely going to happen relatively soon if that does happen. But I feel like we're going to see a cup and handle. Sorry, Linus, I said SMR and I never went to it. Let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, so that's interesting to see this. So we continue to push up. I would be looking at that as the pullback area. So this looks like a pretty good setup, not going to lie. Over the past several days, I've been kind of forming a bit of a bull pennant or bull flag. Looks more like a bull flag, I guess. And we clear this 1975, it looks like 1975, 1980 area. We're going to be testing that trend line, I think. Looks pretty good. That's SMR. Nuclear is hot right now, folks. Nuclear is hot. HTCR, you guys are talking about that again. Let's bring this up. All right, HTCR. So preliminary revenue, that's great. We covered this one earlier in pre-market. This one had a nice pop all the way up to 136. Don't know how much is left in the tank here, but that is a really good move to see. All right, what else here? You like RCAT for the big swing, just like Palantir. Good to hear. White chocolate mocha. Kevin Costello, long SMR. Good luck on that. HTCR might be done. Might be done for today. I won't disagree with that, but they do have earnings coming up next month. So let's let that cool off and see what happens next. I agree, though. This pop might be all that it gives us in the morning, maybe for the day. Vtac halted up. Go back to a 5 minute. Okay. Lost VWAP, reclaimed it, and halted. Next thing that we want to see out of that halt is taking out these levels here. These upper shadows telling us that this is going to turn around. It did that twice. Hopefully this next time that we come back up here, it comes back up with a lot of volume, enough to push through whatever sell orders are in the way. And that can take us up to, well, I don't really have anything I can completely draw on without doing that. But it looks like we could be talking about 245, 225, somewhere in there. I guess we have to get past this consolidation here. That's just above where the price is. Also, look at this. Look at this. I'm trying to get over the 65 EMA on the daily chart. How about that? So it looks like this consolidation here mixed with this 65 EMA, providing some resistance of Vtac getting higher. Let's see if what happens out of the open. Look at this RSI, very extended here as well. All right. What else? Drug about to pop. Let's look at this 5 minute chart. And, well, it's looking like it wants to, but that volume needs to be better. These upper shadows, not sure. Now, I don't want to say that it's going down because we could just, get a whole bunch of volume suddenly come in, and we could get that move over $40. But for now, not sure if that's what's happening. And also, the RSI a little bit high. Might see this come in a bit. Maybe down to VWAP. Let's see if it can hold 35. That's what I'd want to see. If you lose 35, I'd be a little bit more concerned. Is that fair? I think that's fair. JETAI going. IONQ. And Bear is cooking. Okay, so let's start with this. Let's start with IONQ since that's on the first one that's on the list there. Look at that go. What news is this on? Must be this form. Time to read that right now. But anyway, this is moving. Let's see if we can find some levels of where this goes. Sorry if I'm moving around for you folks a little bit too much. All right, so it looks like this wants to just grind all the way up to about $15. Whether or not we get past this wick here or not, that's the question mark for me. 14 looks like the first spot to get over before 15. I think it's going to be one of those kind of even number levels that this thing goes off of. $14 looks like the spot. That's what I would say for now. $14 in IONQ. JETAI. What is that one? Is that JTAI? It is. I remembered. All right. What do we got here with JETAI? Okay. Well, this one looks like it may have had its run for the moment. VWAP's right down there. This is these penny stocks. I don't know about this one. For me, if it can hold VWAP, great. If not, then they say find something else. I don't know what is going to get this to go or what the news is. Maybe it's just running with the other AI names. Come on, Newsfeed, show up. Okay, well, doesn't matter. Maybe getting a bit of a short squeeze here if that's the correct number. But yeah, that's I don't really have a whole lot of thought on JETAI. Looks like 16 or 17 might be where you run into some resistance. Yeah, I know. All over the place today, huh? Ex-sniper, absolutely. All right, so now let's go back to Bear. Oh, buddy. All right. So it looks like volume still something to be desired, but we're still pushing and trying to hold back above VWAP. Man, this thing just moves too slow for me to really get excited about it. But if you're trading this and you're making money, who am I to argue with you? Let's just see if this can hold VWAP. If we can hold VWAP long enough for these EMAs to catch up to it, we could see it pop over $3 again. HEP's going to VWAP. Peggy popped. GLD. Vtac. Oil. Spread too wide for drug. Yeah, that's kind of been the case this morning, hasn't it? Thank you, Fairchild. I appreciate that. Vtac trading like news. All right, you guys are mentioning Vtac. Let's go to Vtac. Let's do that. Oh, look at this. There's our move. Is this halted now? I need to see if I can figure out how to get the halt indicator on this. I have it in my broker. All right, so Vtac is halted on that breakout. Now let's see where we can figure out where this is going. I think we may have already determined where we wanted to see this go next, but we got that break over the 65 EMA. Here we are in this consolidation. If volume's good out of the halt, then maybe we go up to this this area here, but that's a lot of supply. I have to really temper my expectations on this one. I think everybody should too, especially with the RSI being what it is. Let's just be careful when we see this one on halt. Drug longed and then shorted. 13 got that vision. I do? Is drug doing good things? Okay. That looks like they may have double topped. That's not looking good, folks. So here we are, back down to VWAP. Now, VWAP's going to be key here. If we do not hold this, I think that we're coming down into this area. We may end up losing $5. So VWAP's going to be important here, especially when we are getting this kind of topping out. Maybe we don't top out, maybe we push up higher, but holding VWAP is going to be that big thing to watch for. We don't hold that, I think we're going lower. Well done, our alpha. 3 for 3 on drug. Excellent. Isn't that JETI? I'm sorry, what are you asking, James? The JETAI? Or are you talking? No, this is drug. Sorry if I was unclear about what you're asking about, but here's JETAI with that pop, and now we're coming back in. Did I say? Oh, you thought I said JETI. Okay, gotcha. That joke went well over my head. Sorry about that. NVIDIA, big fade, and Gevo, small pop. Let's take a quick look at NVIDIA. All right. Okay, so here we are coming down to this supply area. I'm sorry, demand zone. I mean, if I'm a NVIDIA bull, I'm going to want to see this reverse here, where the supply zone is. So down at this level, which we're not too far away from. We are beneath VWAP, though. We do have some of these EMAs crossing down to the downside. So even if we do pop back up and retest VWAP, could still be some more downside ahead. We need to see this come back up and recapture VWAP. Otherwise, I do think we're going to go lower than the demand zone. And Gevo. Look at it go. This one also very extended on the 5-minute. This consolidation here, be a little bit concerned about. What you playing in the background there, Aaron? Are you playing something? I hear some.
It was a highlight of the from the baseball game last night. It's crazy.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
All
someone
right,
was asking about I mean, the stocks that go up, like when they're already up 200%, it's like, yeah, they could keep running. But I know that if I buy them, they're just gonna go straight down. So I don't like to get into anything that's up already like 200% on the day.
Well, these aren't really things that we are going to be, getting married to. We're going to be playing
In and out,
quick in and outs. Yeah. And we don't want to just jump into them either when we're seeing them run and think that, oh yeah, they're going to keep going. We like to wait for the setups. We look at the technicals and see where we can potentially get the best entry. And we try to execute that way. We don't just nilly-willy jump into these things. But I understand your concern, absolutely. But that's Marcus Sniper. That's how it be. We buy it, it sinks. That's why we wait for these setups. Let somebody else make that mistake. All right, so Joda mentioning RILY, RILY. This thing finally doing some stuff? Did they get smacked down enough? Look at this. Look at this recovery. Look at that. I didn't see if there was any news on it or not, but this thing is just, Oh, I'm seeing that Vtac is open. Let's move that over to that. Sorry, I'm cutting the RILY short. Oops, that's a 10-minute. I want 5. Here we go. There we are. Popped up. And we're gone. Let's see, where were we looking for here? So moving our way through that consolidation, and the next spot was up in this area. I think we're about to halt again, it looks like. Vtac, multiple, there we are, halted again. Drug again as well. Oh, look at you guys go. All right, here we are. Back up at that level again. Is drug halted, by the way? Looks like it's not moving. Yes, it is. So that's halted right up here. I guess the hope Not, I mean, and maybe the expectation, but I think the hope is that when we unhalt, we blast off through this resistance area. I think that's the hope. So I don't want to trade on hope. I don't think anybody should, but that's something to watch for. We may end up just blasting off through that. All right. Let me go back to RILY because I did cover that one quite as much as I think it deserved it. So we're getting some upper shadows here. That's not looking too great. That would maybe imply that a test of VWAP's coming, especially with the RSI being extended like it is. So if there's a trade that's going to set up here, let's wait for the VWAP to support it. And once we start seeing that the price appear to turn around, we can consider going in for another trade. But I don't like it right here. I think this is going to come in. What are the buy levels on Vtac and SLRX setup? Let me look at SLRX and then we'll go to Vtac. And Line Atlas saying that DRUG will end the day in the red. That's entirely possible. Let's look at SLRX. All right, so here we are, just meandering our way over VWAP here. If we get some, volume expansion like we got in this last 5-minute candle, I think we're testing this this 239, 240 area. We just need to hold that VWAP, and we're not. This might need a little bit more time. Wait for the next setup. I'd want to see VWAP hold up before I get into this one, because if we don't, close this candle or the next one above VWAP, that might be an indication that this is going to come down here into this demand zone again. But that's the thing I'd want to watch for on SLRX, recapturing and holding that VWAP. Okay, so let me just go to, okay, so NIVF was the next one that I saw here. We've traded this one before as well. Oh, what is this gridlock that we have here? Well, this has just been a full day of losing and recapturing VWAP, hasn't it? I really don't know what to make of this one. Clearly, you have some levels down here and around 127 or 125, and clearly you have some resistance up here around the 140, 145 area. I really don't know. What is even the news on this? Short squeeze? I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all. Okay, well, sorry I can't really give you a whole lot on this one. Volume needs to be a lot better for me to get excited about it, but also need to get back above VWAP. And I don't know that with this current volume, that's going to happen. In and out of HTCR, you're a madman, Jay Summers. Absolutely mad. Yeah, it's a fun day today. I'm glad you're having a good time, Anthony. Peggy's halted. Let's look at Peggy. Look at Margaret, see what she's doing. Oh, look at that. Look at that. PEGY. We are halted. I guess the question I would want to know, out of the halt, do we pop up to here? That's what I'd be looking for. And I like the way that these EMAs are really trying to push up and cross into this VWAP. Usually that's an indication that we're going to move higher, especially when these longer time frame ones, the 65 and the 200, start doing that. Really gets the stock price moving up. So let's see if out of the halt, that's what we end up with. A move over 11 and up to this 12, almost $13 area. All right, what else? HEPS, bad entry, scared. Well, hey, as long as you didn't lose a lot of money, that's all that matters, right? If you recognize a bad trade once you got into it and you got out, that's great. That's great work. Juicy, 40 on drugs. We are at that high. Hood is on a run. They've been having some. Let's see. Zunaid went down to that conference that they had, right? I wonder if there was he's gonna.
Yeah, Zunaid and AT are there. I don't know what's going on with my camera. Speaking of AT, I gotta hit him up. Ooh, let's see if this.
Yeah, so curious to see what he's got to tell us when he gets back about what he learned in, I think it was in Miami, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds fun, man.
All right, so this is interesting here because $27 appears to be a bit of a resistance level. And you can see from this price action we got on Wednesday, where it was just having a hard time really getting in above and staying above 27 until the end of the day. That's back in play now, it looks like. So 27, drawing on the resistance it was getting back on Wednesday, looking like that's going to be the level to take out. If we do that, not sure how high we're going to go. There's all this consolidation. There's this. I think maybe 27.40 could be the best case scenario, especially since we're kind of extended here on the 5-minute. Might need a little bit more time to go higher. Vtac halted down. Okay, so we got the unhalt here, popped up and dropped. Where did that end up taking us? So we couldn't even really get up into that 2 area, or not even that 180 area. So pop and drop in Vtac. To the downside, when we unhalt, we're going to want to see if this area here provides any support. About 130, the high 130s. Can't really say exactly which level. Maybe we get it from the 9 EMA, but I just have this sinking feeling that we're going to test VWAP. HTCR, done with it. Well done on your trade, Jay Summers. Line Atlas taking profit on gold. That thing has been on a run. Silver for batteries. Silver, I still think we have a bit of a high range with the silver gold ratio. So we could see silver continue to catch up. Gold obviously making new all-time highs, going over 2,700. Smoke Tuna mentioning PYXS and TWG. Let's see here. We're also got Peggy back open now, pushed up a little bit higher, and now that one is also looking like it's trying to go lower, but holding. Okay, so PYXS. Looks like Peggy's going higher. Oops, messed that up. All right, so with this one, it looks like the move that you were talking about had already happened by the time I arrived here. Looks like we're still trying to get back over this VWAP and hold. Is this halted? Because it sure looks like it's no, it's not. It looks like it's moving very, very slowly. And TWG. Okay. Top Wealth Group. Oh, this is the caviar one. This one's been on a run for multiple days. Look at that. We traded it this day. It did this, and we should have been paying attention because we could have captured this, but we had other things to trade. This is also very extended, coming up to a potentially double top. Not saying that that's what's going to happen, but look at this RSI, very extended here. Last time we were even up in this area, which was the day that we traded this, look what happened the next day. We cooled off. So whatever happens today with this one, maybe it happens intraday, maybe it happens at the end of the day, but at some point this is going to have to do some cooling off. I'm not sure when that's going to happen, if it's going to be today or tomorrow, but that's something to watch for with TWG. Drug time? Okay. Yes, PPTA, the antimony play. Yes, you talked about that one. I think I was in UAMI for US antimony. So here's the one that I'm referring to. This one, this one I was trading it up in here. Kind of going sideways for the time being, but let's look at the one that you brought up, PPTA. That one looks a little bit better. Look at this. Look at this. Lovely. So where does this go? Don't know. But seeing as how, antimony is going to be a bit of a combative material, seeing as how China's cutting off supply to certain parts of the world, and everybody else has to go through those other channels that they're still selling them to. Could make antimony more expensive. It's going to the moon. You know, that might happen in due time. I'm not sure it'll happen really in the near term, and that's only because the U.S. antimony supply that we have on in store, we have a lot. It's not like germanium and gallium where we don't have a large supply of that material. So for antimony, it might be some time, but I agree it will be more expensive at some point. Jay Wild mentioning drug possible 42 open. Smoke mentioning QUBT. That is a quantum computing play. T. Oops, I put a D instead of a Q. I don't know how I did that. All right, and what is the news here with this one? It was awarded a 5th project from NASA. Develop spaceborne LiDAR imaging. Ooh, that's cool. So what are we looking at here with this one on the 5-minute chart? Look at that action. So I don't know with this one. It's a penny stock. It might do better once it gets over $1, but it seems like it's not trading on the volume that it could be if it got more eyes on it. But it looks like it's might need a little bit of cooling off. I don't know. I don't know with this one right now. I think that quantum computing is going to be very, very important in the future. It might be here sooner than we think. So look into the ones that the quantum plays that you like and choose one. This could end up being one of them. Lion Atlas, we don't anymore, but we have a lot, and we have a lot of our own antimony storage. We have a lot of material on the books. Duo up 10%. Also looking like Peggy had some pullback and now it's trying to push back up. Still think 1268 might be on deck. Sorry, what was I supposed to be looking for? Duo. Duo doesn't look great. Looks like after a morning of getting rejected by VWAP, we're headed lower. We are going towards some support areas. Looking like this is going to be the first stop. We don't hold that. I'd be looking maybe probably closer to 115, maybe even down to 111, 110. How high can drug go? Serious question. It can be anything at once. If we want to be realistic, let's look at a daily chart and see if we can figure that out. I mean, it got this high. It could double from here. It could be whatever it wants, and there would be no fundamentals behind why it goes that high. But I don't want to say, yeah, hold on to this until it's 80, because that would be completely irresponsible, and I don't tell people what to do. You trade this how you want. I don't know how high drug is going to go, to be honest. And NRGV says smoke tuna. Oh, look at this one go. This one also getting extended. Let's see if we can get some levels here from the from the daily chart. Looks like we might be running into resistance around 150, 160 up in here. And if we push up, this is a pretty thick consolidation. I think somewhere in this consolidation, you might see it topping out. Is Bayer moving? And drugs at 46 now. And Vtac is open. Look at all this. Look at all this. Vtac, or did I? Why is Vtac not coming up? Let's try it one more time. One more time, folks. Unless I'm already on it. Nope. Why is this not coming up for me? All right. Well, I don't know what the problem is there. TVGN. Let's see if I can get TVGN to show up. There we go. All right. So TVGN. That certainly does look like it wants to take out these highs, doesn't it, and go into 2. That's looking like what it's trying to set up to do, but the fact that it's not pushing over this is worrisome. Need some more volume. Let's see if we can get this volume to expand some more, and then we can talk about that. About it pushing over. Just needs to really see that volume expand. Come on, give us that volume expansion. Push us over 190. Get us up to 2. Vtac. Gosh, I wish I could get the tickers right. You know. There we go. It wasn't an X. It was a K. And here we go. We're moving. Got support from VWAP. How about that? Can it follow drug? I don't know. I don't even know why. I don't even think we had a reason why drug was moving initially. INHD. Okay. Recapturing VWAP. Looks like it trades a little. What are we looking for with this one? Okay, so trying to hold above this this consolidation here. It's a demand zone. Well, it was a supply zone for it, but we just took it out. Looks like it wants to try and go for 8, but I don't know if that's what we're going to get out of this one. Drug volume low now. January was dead spot on with Netflix. She usually is spot on with everything. Let's take a look at drug again. See what that's doing. It's a daily chart. Let's go to 5 minutes. Come on. Here we are. Okay. So with drug,
looks like
we are in the process of setting up to move higher. What can happen here is we'll get these couple of moves. We'll cool off a little bit, kind of create a bull flag or a bull pennant, make a bullish formation, and then we'll push up higher. That's typically how some of these formations will resolve. Are we going to get that? I don't know, but that's what I'm going to be watching for. That's what I would be watching for in drug.
Looks like Netflix is making new highs.
MSTR finally moving. All Bitcoin
I think 13 can't hear me again.
Could go. I'll take a look at Vtac, see if we can get it to go.
13's headset turned off again.
Let's go, Vtac. Is it qubits time? 13 QBTS. I mean, they're moving together. It looks looking pretty good, isn't it? These quantum names seem to be moving together. I don't know how much movement we're going to get out of D-Wave today. But if we do get that same momentum that we're seeing in these other names, I'd like to see it get up to this 200 EMA. I'd like to see it get to 120. Does that sound good to you? AB can't hear me?
No, I can hear you. You can't hear me.
You know what? My headset turns off and I have no sound coming through. So that's
I know. I was too quiet for too long, and then so your headset turned off. But I was talking about Netflix, which broke out and is officially making new all-time highs here. So, I know a little bit of a bigger stock than we're usually talking about on this show, but I just thought, looking at some of the movers today, Netflix again making a new all-time high after the company's earnings report last night. This stock is now up over 300% from its lows that it hit back in June 2022. So if you were a little ballsy and started buying Netflix on the way down, you've definitely been rewarded here. Of course, Bill Ackman got in and got out too early and missed out on a bunch of gains here. So Netflix here, all-time highs.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be just fine. 760, 767, 765, somewhere in there. That's where the top of this trend line is. That would be my expectation of how high we could potentially go today. No, I got it figured out, guys. Yes, my headset does turn off when I don't get any sound coming through, so that's why I couldn't hear him. But thank you for pointing that out for me. Can we get a price target after the halt on Vtacs? Well, let's see what I can do. I don't want to make any promise. Why do you keep saying Vtacs? Getting me confuzzled here. Let's see here. So It's good that we're coming back up, but I think I need to look at my daily chart again one more time just to see where we could end up going. Yeah, I think I keep saying like the 180 to $2 area. That's kind of where I'm at with this. I think this consolidation here is going to continue to provide resistance until we get that big expansion of volume that helps push us through. Once we do that, then I'd be looking at 250. Well done, Carmen. TVGN broke the barrier. Let's see. Oh yeah, at the little pop there. Now we're coming. It's trying to come back in, but same thing with that other one I was just mentioning. The VAX one, TVAC. That could also get up to its $2 area here, maybe a little bit higher. Because I'm just looking at this consolidation and thinking, nah, that looks like a spot where we can end up seeing the price go. Right now, it looks like we're pulling back a little bit, but as long as we hang out above VWAP and we start to get more of these EMAs crossing, I think there's still potential for more upside. But that's the spot I'd be looking at, about $2. CMND and AIFF. Let's take a look. Oh, look at this. Clear mind. So all this talk about drugs, these other names started moving. This is the psilocybin play, I believe, right?
Sounds fun.
I know that they use psychedelics. So when I think of psychedelics, the first thought is magic mushrooms. I don't know what news this is going off of, but it looks like it's got a mention of bright minds, and that's drug. So it seems to me that it's moving in relation with the movement of drug. Drug to 50. Did that end up happening? Oh my God. Look at this thing go. And yeah, so we are halted now still. Well, we're in some uncharted territory. We're doing price discovery now with drug, folks. This could be a great spot. It could be a scary spot because you don't know where this is going to go or when it's going to turn around, do you? AIFF going. I may have missed the move since I was looking at other stuff. Oops, I'm already on the 5. Yeah, looks like I did miss that a little bit. We have some pullback now. Sorry, I didn't bring this up sooner. Looks like we broke out of this consolidation that we've had for most of the morning, and we're close to losing VWAP. Now, we can see that the RSI is pretty extended here at over 73. So pulling back isn't going to be, an unexpected thing, being how extended this is. But how far down we go could fall beneath VWAP, could come back down to 350. But we want to see it hold VWAP so we can see it go higher. That's what we want to see out of AIFF. Out of Vtac, well done, Print Biscuit. AIFF is collaborating with DRUG. Okay, well, that's good news. Let's see if we get that on this news feed here. Come on. There we go. Oops. Oh, it looks like and Bright Minds. Okay, there you are. Excellent. That's the news here. Firefly and neuroscience. Now, I guess the question is, does AIFF move like DRUG does? Will it go into the crazy valuation that it is now? Because remember, not too long ago, DRUG was single digits. As a matter of fact, where did we actually start with DRUG? Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't single digits. No, it was. It was actually down here almost under $1. Crazy. Anthony's saying careful on DRUG. There should be some resistance around 58.59. Webcoin saying DRUG. We saw it at 107. Thank you for that. So this is crazy move here that we're seeing. 50 times where it was there. Out Vtac. I think I said that already. Vtac halted. Halt fest on Vtac. Yeah, it seems like that's the one that's getting all the halts today, isn't it? Let's take a quick look here. Halt to the downside. Drug halt to the upside. Well, and then TVGN high a day. Let's see here. All right. And we're pushing up higher. So here we are in that 2 area that we were talking about, trying to work our way through this consolidation. I would think that at some point we're going to get a little bit of pullback here on this move, unless the volume expands and helps us push through it. That's the 2 scenarios I think we're going to end up seeing here. Either we get that volume expansion and push through, or it doesn't come and we pull back and we have to wait for the next setup. NUZE. What's going on with NUZE? We tested that 65 EMA after losing VWAP. So thought here is that this is like a bit of a shakeout. Now we're going to see if we can recapture VWAP. Looks like drug is also open. Bit of sideways action, but it looks like it wants to try to push higher. And drug losing a bit of altitude here. A little bit of a battleground right now in drug. As far as NUZE goes, doesn't look like it looks like as soon as drug opened, the attention moved off of NUZE and onto drug. All right, so what else, folks? We looked at drug, we looked at Vtac, we looked at NUZE. Seems like those are the ones that we've got most attention on right now. I'll just put drug on the screen so we can see what it do. Okay, so there's a little bit of a support, and we're pushing up higher in drug. As Anthony had said, be careful around 58, 59. He was seeing some problems up there with that level, so might be a good spot to consider taking some gains. What's Peggy doing? Is Peggy turning around? Let's take a look at PEGY. Okay, so still above VWAP on this. We got a little bit of selling, but we didn't lose VWAP, and now we're trying to turn around here. If we do get some the stock to turn around and push higher, I would like to see it get past this 1225 that we put in earlier and go higher. Needs to hold VWAP, Peggy. Needs to hold it. What's what? Botnu. Zim made a quiet 10% today. You know, Zim has been making some quiet moves ever since it came back in to this area, to the 230.80. We were looking after it broke out of that level for some support. Did not get that. Went all the way down to this consolidation area, and now we're coming back up. So to the 23.80, that's going to be the breakout spot now, the next time we get up there. So that's what we want to see here in Zim. Shorting drug now for a swing down. Well done, Ara. Jay Rice, don't look now, but Reddit is at all-time highs. Look at that. Slightly higher. Look at this. Let's take that and go like this. So there's where it could potentially run up to today. Actually, 80, 82, 81. Let's say 81 is potentially on deck. Traded GUG and Nvidia today. Small profits on both. Well done, Kate Father. Nice green for the week, but today looks real choppy. Going to call it. That's great. Great that you've got some green on the screen and don't like the way the market's looking, so you're just going to call it a day. That's great discipline. We'll see you on Monday. If you're not hanging around with us, well done today, Kate Father. What else? IOVA says Buzz Lightyear, steady climb, and then line analyst, you also mentioned DLO. Let's look at DLO real quick. The DLO. Come on. There we go. All right, so 5-minute chart, DLO. Looks like all the really good price action was yesterday, right before we closed. And we're just kind of going sideways today. Yeah, volume's not really great. What's the thought here in DLO? I don't know what we're hoping for here. Looks to me like 930 would be a good spot for it to run up to and try to break out. But you got all this consolidation here in the way. I really don't know what this could do. Floats 87 million shares, really not the thin floats that we like to trade that move much better than this. I don't know about Delo. This doesn't look like something that we would be looking to trade today. No, AB is AB is not sleeping. It did.
I'm here.
That he did look like he was falling asleep though. That was a good one.
What stock am I buying right now? What should I buy?
Whatever you want that looks good. I don't have anything that I'm buying at the moment. I'm just going through these tickers and telling people what I think about them. Vtac is open, so let's look at Vtac and see what we got there. Not a whole lot. Looks like it is trying to get some support at 145, but we're going sideways at the moment. Buy TLN and hang on. There you go. AB Replay Game Labs says buy TLN and hang on.
All right.
He also says Lunar keeps cycling higher. I'm almost interested in buying these dips and making a longer play. Lunar still has an upcoming contract that they are going to be getting awarded. So you're probably going to end up seeing it slowly move higher like it has been over the past, actually the past week. Probably could end up seeing more of this until that contract comes, and then we'll get the wild price action, and then maybe it sells off. But yes, Lunar moving up steadily on potential upcoming catalyst. Drug, were we up at 60 now? Nope. We're much lower than that. Looks like we had a pop to 53, 26, or somewhere in that area, and now we're coming back in. Mostly sideways at the moment. Peggy testing VWAP might be losing it. GRUG and SOBR, what a day. We saw SOBR do pretty well, but what is GRUG doing? GRUG? I don't see GRUG. Unless that's it must be drug. These typos are getting me all morning. Yeah, but yes, drug was wonderful this morning. Long Lunar, but drawn down. You know, you could trade around a Lunar position until that catalyst comes out. I'd buy that for $1. We need another really good RoboCop movie, don't you think, Fairchild? I didn't like that remake they came out with 10 years ago, whatever that one was. Hey, no problem, RX. I knew what you meant. I figured it out. Trading Vtac after the halts had me stressed out. Hey, Motion. Let's not rattle our nerves, buddy. You know, we will have more days. Monday will come eventually, I promise, and we'll have great trading then as well. Don't stress yourself out, my man. Vtac. See what you're stressing out about. Well. With how much it's been with all these moves like this, yes, I could see how you would be stressed out. Take care of your mental health, my man. Clarence Bodeker, yes. Oh man, that movie had a lot of great memes come out of it. Too much stress, you will need drugs. There you go. That's not bad. Hey, Motion, maybe you should try drug for that stress. All right, what are we looking at, folks? Trying to look around here for some of these things that are still moving. Looks like we're getting a lot of pull on names we were mentioning earlier. Let's kind of go through the list of names we were looking at. Here's AIFF, trying to get back above VWAP. Here's TVGN, still in the process of flagging, but looking for that support right around this area that we want to see around 190. Hopefully that takes us up back into the twos. Oops. Let's go to news. So this one is kind of doing this. And the next time that we move up here, I'd be looking for a breakout over that trend line. We could see volume expand once we break out of that trend line. Watch for volume expansion on NUZE. Peggy holding above VWAP still. See, with Peggy, this is where we would want to see this one turn around in particular. This is a really good looking support level. I would really like to see Peggy turn around here. Just need to get that volume to match the movement. Vtac wants to take off. Sobr's halted. SOBR. Halted to the downside. Ooh. So after multiple rejections of VWAP all morning, it just couldn't hang in there any longer. We are down to the 200 EMA and halted. So here's the real funny part. Sobr. Drug. Does this answer your question about whether or not it's better to be on drugs or on in sobriety? Don't answer that question. That's a very bad joke. Hopefully Sobr is up by Monday, and we are coming off drugs. Yes, maybe there's an inverse relationship here where one goes up, the other goes down, and the other goes up, and you know what I mean. That could be what we see here with Sobr and drug. All right, so yes, Jay Rice, absolutely. Nuclear is on fire. SMR, NNE, LEU, and OCLO taking off. That is how the future of AI is going to be powered. It is nuclear. Vtac, the numbers on them are concerning. Well, sure. These are, low float junky names. Don't really expect a whole lot of great fundamentals out of these things. The only reason we look at their cash position is because we want to get an idea of whether or not they're going to be raising money, or if that could potentially be the day that we're trading it. So that's the only reason we really look at it. But you can expect when we go through these low float, low price names, most of them are going to have some pretty awful looking fundamentals, and we're only just trading the momentum. Feels like a long sword. Oh, yes, there we go. Crimp biscuit. Vtac, you think a broadsword's coming? You think it's going to be Knights of the Round Table and they're going to unsheath and just be like, hey, this thing's dead. All right. Anyway, I don't know what I was saying there, but yes, broadsword coming. Maybe. Needs to come right through VWAP and take out this consolidation area here. Hey, no problem, Replay Game Lab. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. NNE, yes, I think Buzz Lightyear, that Jay Rice did. Yeah, he did mention NNE. You're right. Both of you are correct. It looks like Drug is trying to push up again here. DRUG. Here we go. Trying to get that volume to expand. Let's see if that's the case. Looking a little bit weaker as we get closer to lunchtime. That's still about an hour and a half away, but volume is beginning to look like it's leaving the market. And yeah, Line Atlas, you, Jay Rice, all you guys talking about nuclear stocks months ago. Early to the party. Hopefully you're late to leave. INHD looks like it wants to go to 7. Yeah, that's not a bad setup. Just need to see that break over what is this? 670. Give us that break over 670. I would say absolutely 7's on deck, because I think that could be a volumetric breakout that we get. So if the volume expands to take us up and over 670, that momentum is just going to push us into 7. I think that could be the case. I agree. Yeah, hopefully the team's making some good money here on those uranium plays. We talked about it a whole bunch. It may not be too late, but I think at this point we probably would want to wait for some setups, especially with how they've been running lately. Vtac suspended again. Just halted and halted and halted this thing. Meanwhile, Drug still trying to push up here. Zabev saying JDZG. I'll look at that after we just take a quick gander here at Drug. Trying to get back up to 50, it looks like. And that was JDZG. Okay, so it looks like we're getting a little bit of recovery here. I don't know how much recovery we're going to get. My first thought is that this area here up just above 2 looks like there could be some resistance. I think with this one, the best that you're going to potentially get is probably going to be just up to VWAP. I don't think this looks that great. And we only got this one because China retail sales were good, but that now that the news is over, I think that this is just selling on that news. I really don't know that we're going to get back up to VWAP. I couldn't say where this goes. The volume is pretty low, and it looks like it could end up going lower. Be careful with JDZG. I'm not sure how much more we could get out of this one. Excellent vintage tool restorations, bowing out with a solid green day. Sobr was good to you. Glad you got out before that knife. Vtac was bad. I'm sorry to hear that. Have a good day, 13. You do the same. I'll see you on Monday. Gold stacks are rewarding us big. I'm on silver. So yes, and you're right. Gold stocks are having a great time. Yeah, I'm on silver. Ick, you're off to a city with people. That sounds horrible. Most of who can't drive right. That's every city, I think. Good luck, Fairchild. Hopefully you manage to navigate your way through the city without getting anybody to hit you. Yeah. Yeah, Texans wearing cheesehead. That's it. But just to be fair, if the Packers aren't playing the Texans, I'm all in on the Texans. Here we are with DRUG. Look at this move. Back above 50, going higher. New high of day at 54.28. All I had to do was just talk about, the teams that I like. What else do we have here? Anybody else got anything that you want to? VTAC's open. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Looking for some information on what I can look at so we can get rid of this dead air. All right. VTAC open, trying to push higher. Let's see what we get. Get a little bit of pullback in DRUG as well. Got as high as 55.19. 55.19 pulling back a little bit here. Also trying to push back up. Like somebody was saying earlier, I couldn't remember who said it, but this thing is spready. I see 55 to 50 cent gaps in this thing. My view on VS setup and my view on JTI, I'll get to that in just a second, Sonny. You had SLB calls expiring in December 30. Strike looks great. Well done on that. VS setup. Let me look at VS and then I'll get to JTAI. So VS, this one I think we were trading yesterday. Yeah, it looks like it. This one, it was good in the morning and then it just had this action, recovered a little bit, came back up to VWAP like I said they normally can do. This one right now today, getting a bit of a resistance here from the 200 EMA as it has been all morning. That's going to be the level to get back over, provided it holds VWAP. So that's what we need to see here. I'm also seeing that DRUG is pushing higher. It's over 56 now. I'll look at that in just a tick. Let me get to JTAI real fast. I did look at this earlier, and I gave my thoughts on it. I felt like there wasn't a whole lot here. Seems like there may have been some decent trades recapturing VWAP and then losing it. For me, it looks like we're getting some support around the 65 EMA and this demand zone created by the consolidation and pre-market, but volume just doesn't look great. And it seems to have a hard time getting above and staying above VWAP. I feel like this is going to end up going lower. And if it does, you might be getting some support, down around 12, like I was mentioning earlier. Got some support here, came back up. If it can't recapture VWAP, I'd be looking at down here into this area where the consolidation was from pre-market. Let me go back to DRUG real quick because you guys got to see this. Woo! Look at that. 57.72 is what we got up to. And we are having a good day in DRUG, aren't we, folks? Anybody trade that? Oklo going for 20. Take a look at Oklo. Yep, breaking out of this consolidation here. Not too far away from 20. Yes, sir. Take a look at a daily chart here and see what we got. Didn't I just have a line drawn here? Maybe I didn't. Maybe it was a different stock. Okay, so this thing, not saying it's going to do this, but look what we can draw with these two previous peaks. Now, it could go to 25. I don't want to say that can't happen. Look at what it's been doing. We were just down here underneath 10 not that long ago, and now we're talking about 20. Do we think it goes to 25, folks? Put the fibs on it. On what? Oklo? Where? From like what? Right about here to about there that we're looking for? Okay, so is this kind of what you're getting at? We could go to 28. Okay, I got you. Now, would you agree that if we do get up to there, that we may find resistance here first, see a pullback before we get there? Or are you expecting that we're going to just straight push through this trend line and hit 28, hit that at 28.75 area? What's your thought on that, Glendy? I'm curious. Let's go back to drug. That's still halted. Does drug have good financials? Or well, I don't know. Let's take a look. It looks like they have $6 million in the bank. So it looks like they have, if they go back to having negative quarters like that, it looks like they could still be fine for at least a year. So they do have some decent fundamentals, I would say. Oops, get rid of that highlight. I don't know what it doesn't seem like they have income, so they don't. Just a clinical. I don't even know what clinical trials they are. This is a pre-revenue company, it seems. So I would not buy this for the fundamentals whatsoever. If that answers your question, this is strictly a day trade. There's no fundamental reason for it to go like this. Not even that private placement, I don't think is even a good reason for this to go. It's just momentum. That's what we're seeing. But no, drug doesn't have solid financials, in my opinion. It's going to be okay with the cash it has on hand to continue doing what it's doing for maybe another 4 or 5 quarters. But at some point, like they did with today, they're going to have to raise money again. NRGV, take a look at that. Oh, look at this. Oops. Let's refresh that. One second, folks. We are reloading. All right. Let's go back to, let's close this and go back to NRGB. There we are. Okay. So what was the thought here? Just seeing more of that breaking out. Consolidating, breakout, consolidating, breakout. I guess we're going to consolidate again. In order to know that, we would have to not come back down here. So as long as we can continue to hold and consolidate, there may be another breakout, but it looks like it's trying to come back in. So exercise some caution. RSI is also pretty overcooked. Take those into consideration. This may come back in if it does not consolidate. Drug will come back down very, very soon. Oh, absolutely. Drug will come down to 2. So at some point, that's going to be a pretty good short. Line outs. Are you able to get any fills on your short orders? Are you able to borrow anything? My understanding is that drug was very hard to borrow last time it was up earlier this week. Vtac halted up. You don't say. Okay, I really don't like the way this is looking. It's just been a halt fest, and it hasn't really been halting, into new highs. It's just been consolidating. I'd need to see this break into 180. I'm not very fond of the way this looks right now. I don't know about you, but yeah, they're pretty tight. Drug is indicating an 81 open. Gosh, let's just go back and put that on just to watch it happen. So you're talking about up here. Let's do this. All right. Let's just do that for fun. AJ mentioning Oklo. I don't have a timer left on my my drug halt. Let me know when we're supposed to unhalt, and I'll move back to drug. Oklo though, OKLO. Jeez. Telling you folks, that trend line. We're not too far away now. Just $5. So basically, it's nuclear, it's drug, and that's what's been moving this morning, and some of those China names. But let me take a look at Yang. It seems like we were getting some weakness in the China names. So opened lower and started moving back up. So it seems as though the retail sales trade helped lift Chinese stocks in the pre-market, and now during the regular session, they are starting to sell off. Let's take a look at PDD to see if that's what's happening here. Yep. So it opened higher and it started selling off. Let's look at a 5-minute chart to get a better look here. So China stocks opened higher, started selling off. Seems like Yang may have been a good pickup at the open. But Nancy Reagan says no to drugs. That's right. All right. Did drug open? Let's see here. You guys mentioned drug a whole bunch. I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss the fireworks. You're selling Alabama stocks. They look very. I got you. I got you. Roll Tide. All right. NUZE waking up. 10-minute open for drug. We got. Is that what you're saying? We have another 10 minutes. Taking partial profit on gold and silver and uranium stocks. They just run so much higher. Yeah, they do. They're absolutely taking off. So VS Halt. I'll take a look at VS since you guys are bringing it up. VS versus systems. This was we were trading this yesterday or Wednesday. Sorry. And what is this? Just not really moving on any kind of news. Okay, so with this one, looks like we can back up to where this resistance area is. Now, if we unhalt and we go higher, I would think that maybe threes, the high 360s is going to be what's next. That's where I would expect the open to push up to. And then it may come right back in. Look at this RSI, pretty extended. Be careful. Yeah, Halt Central for sure in some of these names, right? And ATNF halted up? Oh, geez. Oops. All right. 180 Life Sciences. Well, looks like after Wednesday it's doing a 180. All right. With this one, looks like we're coming up to a bit of a resistance area here. And this one you said was also halted. If we unhalt and push through it, then I'd be looking at, maybe 812, 8 even. Somewhere in the 8s where we could get some resistance. All right. Still halted on drug. Okla pullback. Yeah. A little bit of pullback. And maybe we don't see 25 today. Maybe that happens later. But we're still going to keep that level on our screen, on our chart. News reclaiming high of day, then $2 is possible. Let's take a look. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So here we are. Look, we broke that trend line and now we're moving up. Good stuff. So we are going to want to see that that high day break. I have that at oh, looks like drug is open. No, I'm sorry, it's not. That was something else. Disregard. Okay, so with the NUZE, that high was 191. So that's the level we have to take out to go to 2. May back test the trend line before that happens, but that's what I think. I think you're right. That's what we need to watch for, is that breakout over 191 to take it to 2. Is shorting drug guaranteed money? Yeah, I think I would echo what Anthony's saying. There are no guarantees. ATNF halted. Didn't we already take a look at that? Oh, maybe we didn't. No, we did. We did. I thought. I think I said if it unhalts, it's going to take it up to the 8s. Yeah. The resistance selling Oklo going long. Yeah, guarantee that Vtac will halt. Will halt where? To the downside? Yeah, that's the other thing about drug, is that you might not even be able to borrow shares. No, there's different time frames for when they halted, and it depends on if it's like the first halt or a later halt. Don't have all those different time frames in front of me, but they tend to get bigger the longer they halt, and then there's like a set amount of time after a certain number of halts. Sometimes they halt for a prolonged period of time if there's news pending, or if there's something that's the company has to say that's material. They will halt that for sometimes the entire session, maybe longer. But it's not just a matter of whenever they decide to unhalt. There's specific rules, and it depends on if it's a volumetric halt or a news halt, like I was just mentioning. There's a couple of different types of halts, and they have different time frames. So I hope that answers your question. I think I would also suggest looking into different time frames for halts. If playing halts is something that you like doing, I personally think it's quite risky. But if you like to play halts, I would take a look and see, look into the different types of halts and how long they go for. All right, so Vtac, we are still losing some altitude here. Now, are you? I think the thought here is that we halt to the downside. Tell me if that's what you were thinking, folks that are trading Vtac right now. Looking like DRUG still taking its sweet time. Oklo, J. Rice saying, Oklo, I don't think it will end well. They are years away, gonna burn a lot of cash. You guys remember when Rivian was all gassed up and traded over 100? That's a great point. We had all that EV momentum a few years ago on Tesla, and we're making the transition from gas to electric, and all kinds of investment went in there. Look at those companies today, and how many of those are still up?
Yeah, and that's the I brought up that.
Not a problem. I appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to having Ryan back, because then I'll be able to trade a little bit more. But I'm glad that this is working out for you guys. Hopefully, you guys made some great trades with everything that I've been looking at today. But yeah, I agree with you, Jay Rice. We're still a ways away from some of these nuclear names. So at some point, there'll be an opportunity to get into these names really cheap before they get going from when they actually do produce revenue. Shawshank mentioning Piton. Here's something that we also saw have a huge run during COVID. Oops. They had a huge run during COVID and came right back in on a number of negative news articles. So here we are with Piton, and this is a daily chart. I'm just looking at this because I kind of want to see what it's been doing since that time. Look at this. This is where we were, and here's where we are below the IPO. So let's go back to a 5-minute and see what we can get out of this. So it already put in the high, and it's getting some support from that 9 EMA. looks like volume's starting to disappear a little bit, and the RSI is extended. I would like to see this, cool off a little bit before it goes hard. Maybe this is one of those that, holds view up throughout the day and then pushes up higher later on. But for me, it looks like the volume is starting to, lighten a little bit. We're getting a little bit of a, rollover in the pattern here of the chart. RSI is overcooked. I think this is going to need to cool off a little bit before it goes higher. PPTA is at an all-time high now. This is the antimony play that we were talking about earlier. Let's look at a daily chart to see. Well, I mean, if we ignore this, then yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, it's a multi-year high, so there's that. But I don't think we can really ignore this. And this may have been, gosh, I don't even know what this was. Maybe this was an offering. We'd have to go back and look and see what pulled this down. But anyway, it looks like it's on the path to recovery now. So Piton put the 100 SMA on the weekly. Okay, I'll take a look at that. Let's see what we got. I think I have 100. There we go. So here's the week, and here's my 100. Okay. So on the weekly, this 65-week EMA is providing some resistance, but I see your point here with the 100-week SMA. Interestingly, it lines up really well with all these other support and resistance areas. So I really like this level. And no, that's not because it's 3 6s. But this looks like a very interesting level here of where Piton could go. And I think if you're speaking on that this is where resistance could be, I'd agree with you. And look at the RSI. 67, we push up to there. That could take us over 70. I think that's a pretty good level. Thank you very much for mentioning that, Glenn. Drug is open. Oh my gosh, look at that thing. And it's halted at the... You don't think this is manipulated, do you? Drug opening and ripping all the way up to 69. 69 was the high that it put in. Actually, that's where we opened and immediately sold off. We couldn't even get down to filling that gap before we halted again. Folks, this doesn't look good. This looks like we are, the party might be over. Yeah, drug 69 and halted. So let's temper our expectations with drug. I think that this one, I don't know if we're going to get to 81. It's still possible. I mean, we thought we thought back here on Tuesday that after that pop and drop that it was going to be done, but nope, consolidated and went much higher later on that day. I'm not going to suggest that that's what we're going to see here today. Actually, I'm probably going to get some support from that level, it looks like. But this looks like it's on a trajectory to go back down to, at the very least, fill this gap, maybe even VWAP. Be very careful with drug throughout the rest of this day. I don't know how it's going to trade, and it's already had a huge run. DNN, the little nuke doing good. All right, even short kings need love, right? So DCTH in for the run up to earnings and earnings surprise. Okay, well, that looks interesting. It looks like we are set up to try to push higher throughout the day. At least that's what it looks like. Just be careful of this RSI. It's on the 5-minute time frame. It's looking like it's getting a little overheated. So maybe one more push up, and then we could start cooling off a little bit before we go higher. What's the daily look like on this? Oh, look at that. I wonder why this didn't show up on our scanner yesterday. Oh, well. So we're in this consolidation right here. But I see what you're talking about. Look at that 100. This is 100 SMA bounce here. Let me turn that off since it's not related to what we're doing. Also very extended. So I would think that this is going to have to cool off as well. RSI is over 71. When do they have earnings? That would be on the 11th of November, unconfirmed. So it's still got some time to cool off. Oops. What's going on here? Let me go back to the 5-minute chart. Anyway. Oh, they announced preliminary earnings and exceeded. Okay. Yeah, so Sideshow, I don't give advice. It's just something that I would do, and it's some stuff that I'm letting you know about. Lunar does have catalysts, and the way I'm trading it is I have a core position, and depending on what it does, if it goes higher, I'll trim it. If it goes lower, I'll buy more. But I have a core position until that that news catalyst comes out. But I don't give advice here. Just telling you what the things that I would do. Tim talked about VTS last week, but I bought VTS and now I'm not sure what to do with it. Any levels on? Okay, I appreciate that, Sideshow. So replay, yeah. So VST, that's also one that I decided to dabble in as well. It's lower than when he suggested it, but I think this is something that he said that that would need some time. I don't want to speak from him, and because I don't remember what he said. We can ask him about this on. I had the wrong one. That's WTS. Sorry. We can ask him about this on Wednesday because I'm curious too. But I think this is just one that we have to be patient with, as I recall. But I don't remember exactly what he said about this. So we'll ask him on Wednesday. Okay. What level on Lunar would you trim at? Well, I would be, that would have to do with my cost. If it's a certain percent over cost, then I'll trim it, and 5-10%. And if it comes back in, sorry. You have something to say, Eric? Oh, hey, look, it's 10 o'clock. I just was rambling on.
I've been trying to talk to you, man. No, I'm just kidding. It's all good. Hey, 13. Great job past couple of days. I know I haven't really been hopping in too much, but you guys know that this the day trading and the small caps ain't really my style as much. But I still like to talk about the news and the technicals. So it's been fun to hang out with y'all the past couple of days. Thank you for having me, and of course Ryan and the full crew will be back next week. So shout out to everyone who's tuned in the past few days. Please smash the like for 13, who has stepped up and done an incredible job the past few days again. And then we do have some more live content coming to you. I know we've got a tech show with Paul Meeks at noon here in about an hour. So make sure to hang out on our channel all day. We'll have some more great content coming your way. 13, any final words before we sign off?
Oh my gosh, folks, DRUG is back open and at gap filled and just trying to turn around. You might want to say no to DRUG today, but that's just my thought. The thing has had a crazy run. Be careful with this one. I'll see you folks on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Beautiful, y'all. All right, we will see you guys next week.
Winner, winner,